Thank you for checking out my video. I really love Hatsune Miku and enjoy sharing some of that dedication by making videos all about her. To improve my content, I decided to launch my own Patreon page, where you can support me if you feel like Miku's magic reached you by watching them, with neat rewards waiting too. Link in the description. Well, that's all, and now enjoy the new video. Hello, Karen from Hatsune Miku here again. As always, thank you for checking out my newest video. What can you expect from this one? Two closely related top 10s alternating between each other. The one part will be top 10 unknown Hatsune Miku and Friends songs. What the heck do I mean by that? Well, pretty much all my videos so far have been about the Project Diva games or the Miku concerts. Most of the stuff I love are from either of these. So this will be specifically about songs that aren't in any of these. Songs covered can be by Miku, her friends from Krypton, Gumi or Ia. And in the other half of the video, we'll just give you a quick presentation of my top 10 favorite producers, the ones who actually made the songs. That needed a lot of explanation. Let's get to it! Have fun! What, really now a Kaito song? This is no joke. Actually, I have to admit, when talking to my Vocaloid friends, we make fun of him and especially his voice all the time. But I'm not kidding for once. This song makes him sound just good. By far the best Kaito song. I'm baffled that it didn't ever appear in any Project Diva game or concert. Yet? Listening to the song, I can just about imagine Kaito carefully singing the slower verses, telling about his love for who he would do just about anything, before gracefully moving to the more energetic chorus. There's even a cool solo. Why does Kaito's voice sound so strange in almost all of his songs? The proof is right here that he can sound damn good as well. So here we are in the section of the top 10 where I give you a quick presentation of my favorite producers. You wouldn't believe how long it took to design the layout and separately input the text in Sony Vegas. Anyway, a quick explanation. Where I give you a few details for all of them, the underlying song of the producers currently playing, What I Want in Bold Letters is my favorite work of the artist. With songs and concert I mean different ones of course. So even if Koiri Byoto was played at several concerts, it counts as one song. Oster Project is the only female musician in my list. I guess Miku just attracts a bigger male audience. Also visible in the audience for her concerts, by the way. Her songs are all very catchy, have memorable harmonies. Because of the jazzy nature of her songs, I used to dislike her style, but for some reason it grew on me. I like listening to her work when I'm in the mood for some easygoing Miku magic. I'm surprised that this one also has never been put in anything official as of yet. It's such a typical upbeat KC song, as evident by his distinct Miku tuning. The song already starts off in a way that will let you forget all of your worries, at least for the duration of the song. Apart from the nice verses, the best here clearly is the chorus. Just listen closely to the way it starts, the way the first word alone is tuned. The beat going on is a perfect fit. Oh yeah, the video is incredible, sure. Only mentioning it now so that hopefully nobody will complain about it, but this top 10 is about the songs, not the videos at all. Some don't even have one. Anyway, if you're down, listen to this. Looking at the lyrics, this actually really is a song in which Miku just wants to motivate you to give your all, so that you can enjoy the future together with her. Aww. Ah, Neru, what an amazing guy. He also started pretty early on, roughly 2 years after Miku came to be. Oster started right away, by the way. Well, as you can hear, his style of music is very different to most popular producers that also get recognized in the games and concerts. His songs are all very heavy, so if you like rock, look no further. You will love this guy's stuff. Unlike all my other picks, he doesn't even use Miku at all. He's the master of within and land. So if you just want to let off steam, just tune into some of his songs and you will probably feel better afterwards. There's no picture of this guy anywhere. I don't know, I'm just curious what my favorite producers look like, but he obviously doesn't want to be seen. Well, whatever. You all know Nemocon by now, don't you? Well, this is another song by hachiouji-p, truly a master of Lin and Land. But unlike Nedu, it's all catchy electronic music. Lin and Land are playing a role-playing game in the story of the song, where Lin is the hero and Lin the king. It's just a great back and forth between the two voices of the two, a great beat and a chorus that will make everybody move to the rhythm. My favorite part is when Lin sings King of Rock in a high-pitched, adorable voice. How about this instead of Nemocon in the next concert? Lin and Land's voices just complement each other so well. Then again, that shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Another guy who doesn't just use Miku for happy pop songs. Mario's style is not related to rock in the conventional sense. His style is listed as alternative rock, but I'd just say he produces music with a whole lot of bass. His interpretation of Miku is just plain cool. The topics he lets Miku sing about are usually pretty serious as well. I'm surprised this artist is relatively unrecognized officially. I mean, only in the last Project Diva did his first song finally get time to shine, while none have ever been played live. Maybe it's finally time this year? The album he released is just amazing, with hit after hit. Here you go! I hope you guys are pleased that this list also includes a bigger variety of singers besides Miku. This song doesn't have a video at all. For this and later songs that don't have one, or just a single illustration, I will show you nice favorite illustrations of mine instead. This way I can even share these. I'm a genius! This right here is my most liked song of my favorite ear composer, Miku. In the song you can hear his distinct high-pitched ear tuning. The instrumental is pretty chaotic throughout, you could say. There's just a lot going on. For me, the combination of this hectic instrumentation and her voice works together perfectly. My favorite part of the song? I can't pinpoint why, but the way Ia's voice sounds after the solo is just spot on. I can just about imagine her performing it with all she's got. If you enjoy the song, go and check out the album this guy released. It's all stuff similar to this. Just be warned. From what I can tell after reading the lyrics, this is some fucked up business. Ia sings about her incredibly painful childhood in which she was constantly abused by her parents, now just wishing to be dead. Great. And this is my favorite Ia song? This genius is considered the master of Miku ballads. And while I agree, Uta ni Katachi wa Nakeredo is literally one of my favorite ballads ever, not just speaking about Miku here, he's also capable of more. Hits like Catfoot and Dome of the Cinderella can hardly be described as ballads, don't you agree? The latter is my favorite work of his. Everything in it is just spot on. He didn't release anything for quite some time now, and while he didn't officially say that he stopped, it kinda looks like it. I sure don't hope that's true. Go check out the songs I list here in my little profile especially. Well, you already heard my little segment about Maritu, now you get to hear my favorite song of his, Maigamist. As I said, all the songs are very bass heavy. Miku sounds like a bad girl in this one. I don't know why, but I imagine her being on a drug trip in this one, as she utters, "Do you like me?" with a creepy voice. Of course I do, Miku. The song actually is about the depressed Miku after her boyfriend broke up with her, who now wants her bangs to grow so long until her hair will cover up the cruel world completely. Gee, yep, that's some depressive shit. Just forget about that other guy, you still have me, right? Right? What this guy is producing is the kind of stuff you would be glad to hear when checking out a club. It just makes you move. He isn't only good at making kick-ass remixes of popular songs, many are considered superior to the original by many people, he even wrote many cool standalone original songs. He finally got recognized at least a bit when Hibikase was both performed live and put into the arcade machine. Oh, and he got his own medley in Project Diva X. I hope he will keep up his amazing work. He has quite a talent for exciting tuning, especially for Din. This is a pretty perverted song. It contains a lot of questionable lyrics. Well, I don't mind. Didn't Gumi appear to be in some sort of club and end up participating in a sex act? Well, be more careful where you go next time. No matter if deliberate or not, this is a great party song indeed. The build up to the techno instrument is pretty cool, but their voices. Man, it's no wonder they got into a situation like this with their lyrics singing like this. There are a couple of English phrases mixed in between from time to time. I said I don't care for Gumi in one of my last videos, and while this is true, well, of course there can be exceptions. Her solo singing here is the best one, period. Very seductive. The beat is giving me the urge to move. I know some of you will be annoyed by that comment, but what gives? Wanna join a party like that with the two of them? Don't deny you aren't interested. Oh, but don't tell Miku, okay? When I listen to 40m-P, I get the impression that the world is a good place. I don't know, it just puts my mind at ease. His songs aren't just mindless happy songs, but make you think. Some of his best ones are really tearjerkers if you look at the translation of the lyrics or check out the videos in Project Diva. In the last few years he focused more on real artists, but as long as he still releases new Miku stuff from time to time, I'm sure my mind will still be put at ease in the future. One of the many hachiouji-p songs I love so much that so few people seem to know about. It's strange if you go by the upbeat instrumental, but this gets me in a very emotional mood. The verse is pretty good already, but it's just a build up to the chorus. I don't know exactly what it is, but Miku just sounds as if all of what's coming out of her mouth comes from deep within her heart. Yeah, that's the best I can do describing it. You either feel it or not. One later part in the song reassures me in that regard. But I haven't even mentioned my absolute favorite section. It's not entirely exclusive to this song, but rather a phenomenon reoccurring in quite a few songs of hachiouji-p especially. Everybody knows by now how much I love Miku's voice, but these parts solely focused on her voice still overwhelm me each single time. Wait for it. Goosebumps. What can I even comment about this guy? He's probably still the producer everybody knows the name of, if you know any by name at all. He's just a pioneer. He started releasing amazing songs as soon as Miku was first released. I'm sure Where This Man was the first Vocaloid song many people ever knew. His stuff is just easily recognizable. It's weird with this guy. He just released hit after hit in such a short time before suddenly moving on to something else. Well, I can understand that many artists produce Vocaloid music only to be able to use that fame to get started in the music industry with something else. This guy was one of these cases. It's still a shame. He had a short comeback with the theme song of Project Diva X in 2016, but obviously didn't have plans for anything else. To be honest, I didn't like that song much to begin with. Still, it will always be fun coming back to all his fantastic classic songs. one of Dekunina's at least 2 big hits of 2016. 2 people in a relationship, but neither of them were honest to each other with their feelings nor their actions, so the whole affair was a whole liar dance, with lies going back and forth between the two. After the memorable intro harmony, Miku starts singing about the shitty situation. The section leading up to the chorus is outstanding. Miku suddenly speeds up her singing before slowing down and then doing the same again. That feels quite like a dance, I'd say. The chorus isn't any less cool. Miku's tuned flawlessly once again. You see, this song just offers so much variety that there's no way the listener would get bored. It's very likely he or she will get engrossed in Miku's voice during the duration of it. After an excellent saxophone instrumental, the focus is one more time entirely on Miku's voice. The ends of the first part, ending with yeah, stands out to me the most. The piece ends with Miku releasing some more of her pent-up frustration. One of my absolute favorites. Dekunina is one of a kind for me. When I bought his most recent album Ghost last year, there was not a single song on it that I didn't at least like. He also has many well-known classics under his belt. He started with easygoing heavy pop songs, but I can definitely see the trend of his more recent works, they are all heavier. He kind of moved from pop to rock, but it doesn't matter for me. I like pretty much all of his works, but think his newer stuff is even better. He seems to be able to do anything with Miku, and it will always end up sounding outstanding. Speaking of classic songs every Vocaloid fan knows about though. I kind of noticed that some Vocaloid Miku fans know their popular songs pretty well, but have no idea who made them. I'm always surprised because to me, identifying producers I like just means finding new songs that I will most likely be enjoying much more easily. So I can only recommend everybody find out more about these guys, they deserve the credit. Without them, there would be none of the music. Maybe some of you watching now finally find out who made some of your favorite songs. Number 2. You're not complaining about a second song by the same producer on the list, are you? Believe me, this originally had far more songs by him in it. This is my favorite work of his that hasn't been featured in any game or concert yet. It's filled with energy. Miku sounds ever so slightly electronic. I can only describe the verse as sounding mysterious. Miku's meeting with somebody for a date but is feeling uneasy. She is sure her counterpart is hiding something from her. She's determined not to be fooled. I'm still always baffled how Miku's voice seems to go together with just about anything. She just sounds high-pitched as always in the chorus, but it still fits together so well with the powerful beat. The portion that follows in which Miku questions what the date is hiding from her fits the definition of being mystical nicely too. Now you got a nice sample of the awesomeness hachiouji-p is capable of. Want some more proof of his musical genius? I'm just saying, he is the master of kick-ass beats. I'm fairly sure that I will be able to tell his work, the way he makes Miku sound, apart from many other artists. He achieved something that many can just dream about. If you hear his tuning, you'll know it's by him. He makes Miku sing in a way that is just perfect in my opinion, in a mix of sounding realistic, but still with obvious touches of an electronic voice. It's pure electropop awesomeness. Most of his songs are focused on the singing and feature a heavy bass line as his basis. And yes, he also has so many songs almost every Miku fan knows about. I'm glad he's an important part of the games and concerts as well. All his recent commissioned works were so amazing. I have no idea how he still pulls it all off after such a long time. Please never stop, Casey-san. My number 1 spot is a very different song from all the other ones. I like this one so much because of the story it tells. To sum it up, Miku's in a relationship. Take my advice, it really adds to the immersion if you imagine that you are that lucky guy. She's constantly annoyed by him though. He almost always keeps his mouth shut and never seems to pay enough attention to her, always playing around on his computer. What's more, he constantly asks Miku for all kinds of specific sexual services. She doesn't even seem to mind, but is just not pleased with the way he acts. She also wants to hear cliché expressions like thank you for everything from time to time. This song also has a cool middle section. Miku recalls past events of their relationship, mentioning once again how her crush never does anything but hugging her. Well, deep down you can imagine that's all she needs to put her heart at ease. She really is in love with him after all. Yeah, the song really is about the lyrics. I mean sure, the instrumental is nice too, but pretty much just a supporting factor for the story. The highlight of the song? Miku directly asks her partner why he even has a mouth, which she casually answers, why to kiss you of course. Wow, I can hear it in her virtual voice. Cliché tsundere, she appears to be mad, but really now her heart just skipped a beat. She just tells him to shut up, get naked and lie down, she will make him happy. I admit, I love the perverted parts and nature of the lyrics, I like to imagine the situation myself. Sure, for more details, check out the translation of this yourself. Even apart from all these naughty thoughts, this song just feels so real, makes it very easy for me to imagine that everything in it is really happening. For me the song is the perfect illusion and sounds good on top of it. This was a clear number 1 spot. To kiss you, of course. There's only one number one from me. Just looking at the quantity of favorite songs from each producer, hachiouji-p beats them all with ease. But it's not just the numbers. He too has a very distinct style which I just love to death. My favorites are actually the songs that are the most well-known ones, Sweet Devil and Baby Mannix. And these, Miku sounds so sexy. He makes her sound like a cute spoiled little princess, I love it. The rest, hardly anything I don't care about. Since the stuff is electropop as well, it's mostly upbeat music to move along with, of course accompanied by a spot-on tuning from Miku. Another art he's very skilled in a lot of his songs, the pitch shifts for the last chorus of the song, making it sound even more special and usually happy. Pretty cool effect that is simple but yet works so well. During 2 of my Japan trips, a new album of his got released right during that time, so I listened to it a lot while traveling. Thinking about the trips now, they are deeply connected with these amazing songs. He also gets to do commission songs from time to time, but I still think a genius like him doesn't get enough credit looking at how many songs of his are in the games and concerts. He's so efficient with his work, releases new stuff pretty frequently, and I hope his love for Miku will continue on for a long time for us to enjoy his vision of her voice. Oh, seeing him live as a DJ is a blast as well. He conveys so much energy and you can just tell he's a happy person. Partly because of Miku, I hope. Well, we're pretty much done with my list, but just for the sake of completeness, since this video was solely about songs not in the games or concerts, I'll quickly show you my list of all my favorite Vocaloid songs no matter from where they are. Most are in fact from either Project Diva or the live events. Songs in bold are even more liked by me than the ones that are underlined. On top of that are my indisputable favorites of all time. Well, that's it. I hope you liked some of these songs and got to know more about these amazing producers. If you did, you can give this video a thumbs up, comment, share with your friends, and subscribe to my channel, which is all about Miku. So until next time, and have a nice Miku day!